Hi, welcome to day 3 of Tap with Jemima. Today we are going to be looking at putting out the fire of anger, tapping out the fire of anger. Anger is useful. All our emotions have a purpose. They are there to stimulate us to do different actions. So we have a stimulus, we then do an action. Um, these are habits, these are behaviors that we learn through our experiences. We work out how things work in the world and we do things. So we don't have to think about it. So we learn patterns of behavior through our past experiences. And anger is there to create change. It's there to give you the energy to create change. If you see something that you don't agree with and you don't like, the anger will come in and you will do something about it. So everyone out protesting, they're angry and they want something else. They want to change. It's about creating change. It's not helpful when it gets stuck in your body or when you're angry all the time, unless you enjoy being angry. But really, it's quite stressful on the body. And personally, I prefer to be in a calmer state. So we're going to be looking at resolving the anger, working through it, maybe using the energy, because the positive side of anger is passion. And using that side of it, yeah, I want change. How do I make change? If you're channeling that energy into something effective rather than smashing things up, for example, well, what do I do with this anger? I'm going to build this that will help, or I'm just going to break it down. This is going to be more effective for you in the long run and for everyone, hopefully. So, nice, easy breath. Let's just tune into the anger. And some people I work with say I've never experienced anger, and some people are like, I was shouted at every day. We have a huge spectrum. And anger, I feel anger can be irritation, little niggles, frustration. Follow that down. There is a river of rage underneath all of that. And it's how much we're allowed to express. And sometimes that anger goes inward. And someone once described to me depression as anger without the enthusiasm, this silent rage. And having experienced depression, I was extremely angry underneath all of that. And I couldn't express it out, and it was all inward. So for me, that was self-harming, um, physically as well as emotionally, um, unpleasant, not a nice experience. So let's get diving in and release some of this anger. So, as always, just check in with yourself right now, hands over your heart. Take a few easy breaths. Scan down through your body, bring your attention to the top of your head. Scan down, notice how you're feeling right now. Put everything out of your mind other than where you are right now. Let's just tap around to start with. Tap and breathe. Just to send the signal to your body that it's time to tap and time to release, time to let go. Because we want to keep the movement going. Life changes every second. You can create a different experience in your body. Good. Tap, breathe, and let go. And just kind of get in touch with your body. Say hello. Good. Lovely. Good. So I'm going to trigger you a bit now. Let's think about something that makes you angry. What is an irritation, a frustration, or a rage? What happens to your body when you think about that? It might be a relationship, a situation. It's easy to find something out going on in the world. Breathe into that. Just notice what happens to your body when you feel the anger start to rise. Maybe you feel it in your jaw, in your shoulders. Maybe there's an overall tension. Some people feel it in their fists. What does that anger feel like for you? Is it a fire in your belly? Maybe it's like exhausting and tiring. Just notice what happens when you think about that situation. Give it a score out of 10, 10 being absolute outrage, 1 being less, not bothered. So just scale where you are in this situation right now, and we're going to tap it out. Nice, easy breath. Top of the head, and repeating after me. All this anger, beginning of the eyebrow. All this irritation, side of the eye. All this frustration, under the eye. All this anger, under the nose, releasing it now, on the chin. All this anger, collarbone. I'm feeling quite angry under the arm about this situation. I feel powerless. First finger. I want things to change. Middle finger. All this anger. Ring finger. When I think about what's happening, little finger. And I want things to be different. Side of the hand. And I have no say in what's going on. Top of the head. All this anger. Beginning of the eyebrow. If only it was just different. Side of the eye. Why do people do what they do? Under the eye. Why do I have to go through with this? Under the nose. Why do I have to put up with this situation? On the chin. It doesn't feel fair. Collarbone. I can look into the world and see victims. Under the arm. And it makes me angry. On the thumb. And I want to help. First finger. And I just feel angry. Middle finger. All this anger and rage. Ring finger. All this anger and energy in my body. Little finger. All this anger. Side of the hand. I want to let it go. Yeah, just check in how that feels now. You might have memories, thoughts, people, feelings coming up. Really feel that, invite that energy in. As always, we tend to have the emotion coming up and we will cut it off before it peaks. We will drink it away or act it out or slam doors. If we allow that emotion to peak, it will subside. So just feel it for a moment, breathe. Gonna let it go, don't worry. Top of the head, let's just tap all this anger. Eyebrow, this energy in my body. I can choose to feel it differently. Under the eye. If anger was a color, under the nose, I could choose a different color. On the chin. Starting to let go. Collarbone. It feels much more powerful under the arm to channel this anger. On the thumb. It feels much more effective. First finger. Like I'm doing something. Middle finger. If I make a good decision. Ring finger. All this anger. Little finger. Starting to subside. Side of the hand. When I'm angry, I can't really see the solution. Top of the head. When I'm too angry, I'm just raging. Beginning of the eyebrow. And maybe I'm passing that anger onto someone else. Side of the eye. With my actions. Under the eye. With my behavior. Under the nose. And maybe that makes me part of the problem. On the chin. I don't want to be part of the problem. Collarbone. I don't want to make people angry. Under the arm. I want to make people inspired. On the thumb. I'm passionate about what I'm angry about. First finger. If I didn't care, then I wouldn't care. Middle finger. So I must really care about this thing. Ring finger. Maybe it's about something from the past. Little finger. Maybe it's not related to what's going on. Side of the hand. Maybe I'm making up for past hurts. Top of the head. Wherever it's coming from. Beginning of the eyebrow. Whatever the source of this anger and rage. Side of the eye. I can feel it. Under the eye. I can use it. Under the nose. And I can let it go. On the chin. I can fuel my ideas. Collarbone. I can channel it into anything I want to. Under the arm. because I do care. On the thumb. I care about people in my life. First finger. I care about the world that I live in. Middle finger. I would like to feel more powerful. Ring finger. And then I'm making a difference. Even just to myself. Side of the hand. I can choose how to feel differently today. Top of the head. I can choose how to experience my body. Eyebrow. I can choose to be kinder. Side of the eye. More understanding. Under the eye. To myself and others. Under the nose. And I wonder what might happen. On the chin. I wonder what difference I can make. Collarbone. I wonder what I can create. Good. Just for a moment, staying on the collarbone, butterfly tapping. Nice easy breath. Check through your body. Feeling any anger. What does it feel like now? Pause. Take a breath. And then check back in on the thing that made you angry earlier. You gave it a score out of 10. How does it feel now? And interestingly, when you're working on an issue, you might be angry about a certain aspect of it. And then you tap a little bit. And when you ask again, what am I angry about now? That initial aspect may not be there. You might still be angry, but maybe it's about a different aspect. So often I'll ask somebody, I'll use the example of pain. So how far can you turn your head? And they'll say this far. Then we'll tap out the pain. And you go, how far can you turn your head now? They go, oh yeah, it still hurts. So they've moved the boundary without realizing. Because once you've cleared the initial pain of, oh, I can only do that, to this, clearly it's different. There's been an impact. And it's the same with your emotions. So maybe the anger has come down, or maybe it's a different aspect because you've processed and cleared that one. Nice, easy breath. Scan through. So let's use that anger as fuel. And tomorrow we're going to be on day 4. It's about looking at the underlying pain from the anger and hurt, because hurt is often a cover emotion for other experiences. What can you let go of? What can you release? Top of the head. All this anger, beginning the eyebrow. Maybe from the past, side of the eye. Maybe from the present, under the eye. What can I really do about anything from the past? Under the nose. What can I really do about anything happening now? On the chin. Maybe there's a conversation I can have about the past. Collarbone. Maybe I can write to someone in my mind. Under the arm. Maybe I can let go of the old things. On the thumb. And maybe I can use this anger for something else. First finger. I'd like to feel more in control. Middle finger. More like I'm in my own power. Ring finger. That feels more helpful. Little finger. More purposeful. Side of the hand. I like to feel like I'm living my life on purpose. Top of the head. Nice, easy breath. Feeling more relaxed. Eyebrow. Feeling more in control. Side of the eye. Feeling more confident. Under the eye. Feeling more powerful. Under the nose. I know what to do next. On the chin. I know what my next step is. Collarbone. I know what to do. Good. And just for a moment, breathe in power, confidence, resolution, certainty. Use this anger as fuel. Put it into what do you want to improve? And that can be anything, from something tiny in your home to something big out in the world. Just feel the fuel in your body, the fire in your belly. Excitement, passion, confidence, community, whatever it comes to you. Good. Really good. And just scanning through your body again. Nice, easy breath. And choose one of those emotions that you want to feel, and we're going to tap it in. I'm going to choose confidence. Top of the head, feeling more confident. Feeling more confident in myself. Side of the eye, feeling more confident. Under the eye, feeling more confident. Under the nose. I've turned this anger into confidence. On the chin. I've taken back my power. Collarbone. My anger doesn't control me. Under the arm. I control my anger. On the thumb. Feeling more powerful. First finger. Feeling more and more confident. Middle finger. Feeling more relaxed. Ring finger. More in my own power. Little finger. Happy, relaxed and calm. Side of the hand. Feeling good. Wonderful. Well done. Hands back over your heart. Scan through your body. Check on how you're doing. If you want to, you can check in on that number again. You can go through, tap out again if you need to. And as always, reach out if you need more, if you need guidance, if you need help, I'm here. So I'll see you tomorrow for day 4, tapping what's underneath the anger. But let me know how you get on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.